do the master's, and I have to be a master's practitioner, NLP practitioner.
Okay, thank you, Molly. Welcome. Agoni.
Good morning, everyone.
So everyone can see Agoni? You can raise your hand, Agoni, maybe. Yes, Agoni.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Agoni Chakraborty. This is my first time at an NLP practitioner's course. I honestly do not know what to expect, or I just know that I am here to learn. So let's see how that goes.
Okay, thank you, Agoni. And she's from Kolkata. So, Pravina.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pravina from Coimbatore. I've done my counseling psychology, and I just want to learn more about NLP and its techniques. So I've just joined here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pravina. Thank you so much. Venkataramu.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Myself, Venkataramu from Bangalore. I am a software engineer by profession, and I am fascinated to learn some healing modalities. I have learned Ho'oponopono EFT. I am interested to learn NLP as well, so I am here. Looking forward for great learning and experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkataramu. Dr. Shodna.
Good morning. I'm Farhana Sharna. By profession, I'm a doctor, and I consult with Tanzim Apu and know about Dada and how to talk with those kind of people who need help in perspective of psychology. So Tanzim Apu advised me to take part in this NLP session. For that, I am here with Dada to learn how to talk with those kind of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Shodna. Imama.
Good morning, everybody. I am Imama Khan from Bangladesh. I am an NLP practitioner now.
Can you speak a little louder, Imama?
Yes, Dada. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. I am Imama Khan from Bangladesh. I'm an NLP practitioner. I've done my practitioner course from Dada himself. I've been practicing it for quite some time now. This is my retake. Just to brush up, the knowledge is never ending. So every time attending, every retake is learning new things and brushing up the old skills as well. So I'm here just for the revise and to learn more. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. So we'll start our session. So all of you are aware that it is a 5-day session, classroom session from 25th to 29th. And then first and second, we have from 7 to 10. And then we have again on 8th and 9th from 7 to 10. Now, on the first and second, after we complete first and second, there will be some assignments, right? The assignments will be given to people who want to retake. And of course, to those who are joining. So there are 7 of you who would be going through the assignments. Apart from that, I will be sharing the recordings. Please go through the recordings. So going through the recordings will give you an understanding of what is happening. And what I will try to do is, like last time, I will not make it one full day, but I would want to break it up into small pieces. Pre-tea, post-tea, post-lunch, post-tea. So there would be 4 recordings that would be shared with you. And so that is what I expect that you go through it. Because unless you go through the recordings again, pass the assignments, it will be very difficult for you to retain. Retention for retention, reiteration is and repetition is important. And before I start, we also have Krishanu, who is partnering me in this journey of Institute of Quantum Cognitive and Behavioral Sciences. So I would request Krishanu to please say a few words before we start, and then we will start the session formally.
Hi everyone, I am Krishanu. I will not take much time. As Partha mentioned, I am partnering in this journey with Partha. I am a master in quantum science of consciousness and a researcher of the ontological being, as well as a storyteller about the beginning and the journey of the universe. These are some of my interests. And I have also done masters in NLP. The idea is that what we are going to learn here right now, tomorrow, and on an ongoing basis should have some impact on us. And that impact is impossible to achieve unless we retain what we learn, and more importantly, what we actually practice. And that's the most important thing. So I don't know how many of you have watched the movie Matrix. If any one of you have, you would know that the software, you could learn flying airplanes or learning kung fu in seconds. Unfortunately, we don't have that technology. So we'll have to learn it the way it is always been learned. Practice, practice, practice. I hope everyone will enjoy this session as much as I do, and looking forward. Over to you.
Thank you, Krishanu. And one more thing is that every month we have the practice sessions. Please join the practice sessions. Right? There are two things. First of all, you are attending this. Very good. You will get a certificate. Now, certificate will come if you are there all days, right? And if you're not there on all days, then you will have to repeat it sometime with a special class with me. That depends on your time and my time, of course, mutually. But that is difficult. That is very difficult. And of course, passing the assignments. The assignments we started from last time, and this time the assignments which will be much more comprehensive, much more in details. So these assignments will be including objective type questions and a one-to-one discussion with me for 15 minutes, right? And also on the 8th and 9th, you will have to present a topic of your choice from the learnings for 10 minutes, right? So once you do it, once you successfully pass the assignments, you will be awarded the certificates on 9th of November. And those who want to do retakes, they will get retake certificates. If you're not taking a retake, then no certificates will be given to the people who are taking a retake. So this is from my point of view. What we will do now is we'll just settle down, maybe with a round of meditation. So I would request all of you to settle down, sit straight, right? I would request all of you to sit straight, please. Those who are in online, move all the scribbling pads that you have or pens that you have. Close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, Shorna, can you close your eyes, please? Thank you. Close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just be aware of yourself. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your whole body. And as you are aware of your whole body, and as you hear my voice, you would be wondering what is coming next. And you might be wondering which part of your body is most relaxed. Is it your right hand? Or is it your left hand? Is it your right leg? Is it your shoulders? Or is it your left? And I invite you to take a journey to your favorite place where you have been earlier and where you want to be. And as you travel to that space, to that place, imagine the sky above you radiating the light, the colors, the shadow that you love the most. And as you're enjoying this moment, I would like to invite you to find yourself within your body. Where do you find the self in yourself? It might be somewhere in the body. It might be anywhere in the body. And as you find yourself within you, and as you enjoy the environment, the surroundings all around you, be thankful to the God that you worship, to your parents, to your family members, to your friends, to your gurus, to your loved ones, to everyone, to the vegetable seller who provides us the vegetables, to the person who provides us comfort and whom we have not met at all in our life. And as you hear my voice, once again, be aware of your whole body. Whole body. That's right. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the time. Very good. And now as I tell and count, 3, 2, and 1, come back to your awareness. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wonderful. I hope you enjoyed it and you were settled down, right? You can share how was the journey, which place you went, maybe later on. But once again, welcome to the 5-day, 9 days NLP, ABNLP certified NLP practitioners. Well, we have people who have attended NLP practitioners and we have people who have not attended NLP practitioners. We have people who have heard of NLP. We have people who have never heard of NLP earlier, right? So first of all, let me start with what is NLP. And Praveena has attended the associate practitioner, so she would be, of course, knowing some part of it. However, for the benefit of others who had not attended NLP practitioners or NLP earlier, any thoughts, any form of NLP, what is NLP? So NLP, the words, this is primarily neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. Now, what is neuro? Neuro is the nervous system, right? Neuro is the nervous system. Linguistic is language. Language. Now, language is a part of NLP, and language actually in our daily life has a great impact. Language is the code through which we share our experiences. There is language which we speak. There is also language which we do not speak. So there is non-verbal and verbal, but language is the way we code and share our experiences. And programming is how we program, how we strategize the thinkings, how we strategize our mind when we do something. So primarily, if you see, while I will be sharing with you the model of communication, while I will be sharing with you, right, It's frozen. Can it come? Okay. So you have been able to hear me, right, Pravina and others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So programming is the way we strategize. So neuro-linguistic programming. Now, why language? Let me get to language first. So let me write over here, neuro-linguistic programming. This is the subject. Now, when we talk of language, what is that exactly we mean by language? Why is language important and how language impacts our way of living, the way we live, the way we share, the way we are attributing or contributing to society? Why does and how does language contribute? So we will learn about that. The other thing that we will learn about now at the very beginning is the communication model. Now, all of you are aware that we have five senses. The five senses. So, what are the five senses? So, the five senses are visual, we have the auditory, visual is seeing, auditory is listening, kinesthetics is the feeling, O is olfactory, and G is gustatory. Gustatory is taste, olfactory is the smell. So, one very important thing that we must remember, and I think this is the basis of any study, is when we take in information, we do it through the five senses. When there is a behavior that we show, the output is also in the five senses. So obviously, the processing that happens in the mind is in five senses. And the processing, the internally accepting or the processing, the thoughts that we have, the feelings, language is the primary source and processor for any programming that happens. If we did not have language, the programming would not have been possible. So what did we understand? We understood that we take in senses, or we take in information rather through the five senses. We process the information in five senses. So processing, what does processing mean? Processing means accepting the information, storing the information, decoding the information. And then we have the final output, which is in terms of our behavior and sensory interpretation. Communication happens through the output, which is behavior, and the sensory interpretation, which includes language as a major part. Is this clear? While I will be drawing a representation of the board, let me ask you whether this is clear to all of you. I will make a visual representation of this in the flip chart. Yes.
Notebook টানতে ভুলে গেছি।
So we have the five senses. So I think the notebook might be there. You can get up and get it from that back. So we have visual. Visual, we are seeing. Auditory, we are listening. We are feeling. we are smelling, we are tasting. 5 senses. Now, this gets processed in the mind. How does this get processed? It gets processed with the same sensory information that we have received. And there is receiving, storing, and decoding in the mind. This is the simplest form that I am explaining, and we'll get into details of this. So, first of all, I store information. I receive rather. I receive, I store, and I decode. And in the meantime, I process also. I process it in language. So when we see a beautiful, so you travel to your favorite place. So how did you travel to your favorite place? And how did you know that this is my favorite place? Obviously, you have it stored somewhere in the memory. And you also have a very clear understanding that this is why I like this place. And when I asked you to travel, how long did it take you to travel to that place? A moment. You accessed, you retrieved that memory, you traveled there, you were standing there and enjoying the ambience and the atmosphere through the 5 senses. And when you went there, it was language which was helping you. Wow, how nice this place is. Right? It's a beautiful place where I am in. So you are doing it in 5 senses. Everything that we do is through language and the 5 senses. And this gets processed. So when I think of something, it's in language. When I say I can do this, and you have a feeling, you have a thought that you can do it, you are using language to access the information, that experience, which made you have this belief. Right? So, and here, after we process it, we again do it, right, in the 5 senses, the sensory interpretation through language and through somatics, semantic. Somatic means, soma means body. I will come to that. So, when there is behavior, which includes language, so verbal and non-verbal, right? This is what we see and we make our opinion of. Clear? This is what we do. Everyone is on the same page. Pravina, Venkataramu, Sorna, Agamoni. We are clear? I hope I'm being able to make you understand. This is for you all because this is not for, I mean, this is again repetition for those who have already done NLP, but this is more for you people who are getting into NLP. So we will study the entire thing. The entire study of NLP is based on this. Any questions? Any questions? Agomoni, Molly, Sharna, anyone? If this is clear, then let me go back now to the origins of NLP. How did NLP start and what impact it has made in the last 50 years? By the way, this is the 50th year that we are celebrating of NLP, of the time that when two gentlemen, two young people in the 1975, John Grinder and Richard Bandler, they wanted to do a study of the therapists, some therapists. And they wanted to know how these therapists are bringing in a change in the life of people. So they went to this therapist and asked them, would you allow us to sit through your sessions and understand how is it that you are bringing in a change? How you are bringing in a change? They agreed. And this people are Virginia Satir. You can write down the name. Virginia Satir, Milton Erickson, Fritz Perls. Virginia Satir, Milton Erickson, and Fritz Perls. And they sat down in front of them and said, let's see how you do it. They sat day after day and listen to this carefully. They found that these therapists are having a pattern which they are using in the therapeutic conduct. There is a pattern. They notice this pattern. Now, what do you mean by pattern? What do you mean by pattern? What is the meaning of pattern? Anyone? Anyone from online, offline?
Which we are doing repeatedly
Which you are doing repeatedly.
or using words repeatedly.
Or using word repeatedly.
The behavior repeated.
So repetition is a pattern.
Repetitive behavior.
Repetitive behavior. Right? Anything else about pattern?
Style.
Style. Okay, so style, habit, repetitive way of doing things. Right? So if I ask you, just think for a moment, one pattern that you have. Anything. Think of one pattern that you have.
Yes.
Repeatedly see Facebook and using mobile.
So that's your pattern. Now we can get into the depth of it, but yes, Sharma is right. Using mobiles, right? Another pattern is getting up at a particular time in the morning. Another pattern is going for a morning walk, sleeping at a particular time in the night. These are patterns.
Action oriented.
Patterns, right? Repetitive actions or behaviors or language.
Even brushing has a
pattern. So all of us have a pattern. So now they realize, now see their thinking. Just imagine. They have now gone to understand that there is a pattern and they wanted to find out what that pattern is. They went there, they sat down. And they found that there are particular ways and patterns truly that they are following. They picked up the patterns, went back to the lab, sat down, worked on these patterns, improvised on them, then took it back to the world, to some clients, and they found that by using these patterns, they are repeatedly having good and effective results with the clients. So they were able to replicate it because patterns can be replicated. If I want to model someone, I can replicate it. You will see children doing it very well. They replicate, immediate. We'll come to that. Now, then they went back to Gregory Bateson. Gregory Bateson is another very big name in the world of psychology, and they went and said, Gregory, we have been able to replicate the patterns of the great therapists. And guess what? Gregory told them, now take it out to the world. And that's how they brought it to the common people. They did not give the name NLP. The name NLP was given later on. And now you know how NLP, the use of NLP, the practice of NLP, the adoption of NLP has changed or is touching lives of lakhs of people. And just some days back, and you might wish to see it in YouTube or various links. I had shared it in the group also, Seek and Givers group. You will find, go through that link and hear Richard, hear John, how they speak, what they have spoken about. Sometimes the words coming from the co-creators, the inventors, will really help you a lot. So, the entire story that I narrated, what are, and I would expect, again, Pravina, Venkataramu, Shorna, and Agomani primarily to let me know that they have heard me. Now, what is their thought? What happened in the entire process? What do you find had happened in the entire process? Because in this entire process lies not only the story of birth of NLP, but probably, and for surely, not probably, surely, the technique of NLP also. So what did you find? What do you find from this entire story that I shared with you? What happened over here? So John and Richard, what did they do?
Shall I, sir?
Yes, Venkataraman, please.
Yeah. So John Grinder and Richard Bandler were very curious to understand few therapists what they are doing to help their clients to come out of the maybe some situations or some emotional traumas or whatever, and how they are doing it. So they reached out to them and they requested them to be part
No,
to
this is
check
the
with.
story. This is
Yeah.
the story. I don't want you to, Venkataramu, I don't want you to repeat the story. I
Okay.
want you to bring out the essence of the story.
Okay.
What did
So
they really
yeah.
do?
So what we can think of is, so we can the main essence of this thing is to observe the patterns, decode the
Great.
patterns, and replicate it as needed to get the desired outcomes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Very good. So you said observe. There is a term that we use, but let me ask Shorna and Pravina also. Is this clear to you? This is clear, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
observation, the term observation is used. There is another word which is used in NLP. And Venkataramu, if I may say, observation, I will use that other word little later. Observation is the mother of all skills. And this mother of all skills in NLP terminology is called calibrate. Calibration. This is called calibration. Govinda, welcome. So this is called calibration. Right? What is calibration? You know, calibration means measurement, right? It means measurement. Here, we do not measure distances. We do not measure volumes. We measure what is observable. And what is observable? Language is observable. Behavior is observable. Verbal and non-verbal language is observable. And we calibrate this. Now, while calibrating, what does calibration lead to? What does calibration lead to? And we all know at some point of time we have done it And we are very good in it also. We tell. So what does calibration lead to?
Interpretation.
Okay. So interpretation is subjective. I will come to subjective. So interpretation is yourself, right? Factually, what do you see? That's called pattern detection. Factually. So there are terms are subjective and objective. Interpretation is primarily subjective. But Venkataramu uses this word, particular word, in between his languages is objective. That's the reality. When you interpret, it's assumption. That's subjective. Subjective reality can be anything. So the distance from Kolkata to Durgapur, say another location in West Bengal, is 210 kilometers or whatever. That's objective. That's a fact. For Molly, the distance is too much. For Pravina, the distance is nothing. So that is subjective. The distance is too much, distance is too small, that is subjective. 210 kilometers is objective. Mostly human beings, right? We stay in our subjective world more than in objective. Dogs wouldn't do that. Dogs wouldn't be in a subjective world. Right? They might be, but lesser than human beings. Of course, dogs do, but lesser than human beings. We make, and Venkataramu, one of the biggest, of course, boons and challenge of human life is interpretation, how we interpret. And we will come to that when we learn about frames. Right? So when they went back, now another thing that happened over here, when I calibrate, when I understand the pattern, they went a step beyond. They modeled the therapists. They used their techniques while practicing it on others. And how do you do modeling? In modeling, you not only model there whatever is seen, but you also model their subjective reality, how they do what they do, how they are doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can see that when this person is doing this moonwalk, the first thing he's doing is he's lifting his body. That's the first step. Second step, third step, fourth step, modeling. Now we get into how we do what we do. So there is a modeling, the outside modeling. So what if I say that if you model a person, the way he walks around, you will finally see probably some of his thought process also you have modeled very subconscious. Right? Because when you are modeling his walking day after day, hour after hour, you are also taking in very subconsciously some of his behaviors. So modeling is the key subject of NLP. That's how NLP was born. And happy to share in this 50 years, NLP has seen many other co-creators who have come and joined and added value to it. But this is how NLP was born. So NLP is a study of subjective reality. It is also a study of the behavioral patterns, understanding them, and then if they find this to be helpful, say for example, when Pishanu purchased that remarkable tablet, I found it is very helpful. And I modeled him and purchased it. You will also see that in the Guru Shishya culture, the Shishyas who were, sometimes that way of talking, the use of language becomes like the Guru when they follow.
Even the tonal textures also changes.
So it can be modeled. Now, if you want to model, the wonderful word that I have for you is, if you want to model excellence, you can. If you want to model something derogatory, you can. Human beings have the power of modeling, and NLP provides you the entire tool, techniques, and the ways to model others, model excellence. Is it clear? Does it make sense, Pravina, Shorna,
Yes, sir.
Venkataramu? It makes
Sir.
sense? Okay. So let me now get into.
So Parthoda, you were discussing the 4 steps of NLP. Four important calibration patterns.
No, I have not come to the skills as yet.
Acha,
We have just covered the first two.
acha, now you acha. Okay.
Good. Huh.
You have already told calibration and
Yeah, I was just speaking.
inter.
Right? So, oh yes. So, when I talk of this, I just wanted everyone is clear. Okay, understanding? Okay. I will ask all of you again and again because it's very important. The first stage is very important, and I would request all of you, especially those who are new, to go back, see the recordings, hear the recordings. If you have some programs, of course, after the session, it's fine. However, I would request you to at least go through the recordings because now I will break it into 4, give it to you. There will be shorts, there will be snippets which would be there. So that's all. Okay, great. Now, so calibration leads to pattern detection. Now, why pattern detection is important? If I see that Joyita likes to have Chinese food, for example, and if I have to build a rapport with her, right, I would be wanting to find out what I have in common with her. Common with her, it can be, okay, birthday month is also very common, but if I find out some behaviors of Joyita, some interests of Joyita, say for example, Agomani loves drama. Joyita loves singing. So if I show my interest in to know how Joyita learned singing and oh, I have a great interest in singing, Joyita would probably say, wow, this man, he has the same interests as me. So if you remember in the last orientation session, when Shorna introduced herself, I think Shorna or Rituki will be coming after 2 o'clock. So immediately Ishra mentioned that you would be knowing my husband. She was in this project, the United Nations project. The moment she said, the other person, I know her, I know him. Now what is this? This is rapport building, pattern detection, understanding pattern, follow-up of the patterns. This leads to pattern rapport building. This leads to rapport building, right? So this is the third skill of NLP that you learn from NLP. First, you learn to calibrate. And let me tell you how silly it sounds, how foolish it sounds. Calibration is the mother of all skills. If you develop this power of calibration without getting distracted in your own world, you will find a lot of magic happening around you, miracles happening around you. Second is pattern detection. Third is rapport building. The fourth skill is state elicitation. When you can elicit a state, very simple, right? Very simple. Tohida keeps her video off, is a pattern detection. Right?
Yes.
And whenever possible, Ishraq will keep her video on. That's a pattern. Whenever possible. And if Ishraq is not able to put on a video, she will say, আমি একটু বন্ধ করছি. Right? I'm in the office. These are patterns, yeah? Jokingly, these are patterns. So, and Tohida does not switch on the video even after hearing. So that's another pattern. No, I'm just joking. Tohida, it's okay. Tohida is having her breakfast now.
He will be in the school.
No. Okay, so first, Tohida can only say where she is now. I cannot say where she is. Okay. Chalo. So the first one is calibration. By the way, my handwriting have improved from last time. So I think you can read it. Venkataramu, your smile, very mischievous. Can you read it or can you not read it?
No, we can read it. I was
Okay.
getting a thought like we can calibrate your handwriting.
But in India, you know, the doctor's handwriting, I think only the pharmacists can calibrate. Patients cannot. So, you know, when my handwriting was not very good, my teacher used to scold me. I used to say, why are you shouting? I will become a doctor and practicing it from now. Right? So as if not so good handwriting, and I'm using disclaimers that in India, I have not used Bangladesh doctors.
But Supreme Court has passed an order that doctors
Right.
handwriting has to be legible.
Legible. Okay, fine. So anyway, calibration. The second one is pattern detection. Children are very good in it. Third one is rapport building. You build rapport. The world runs on rapport. The last one is state elicitation. State elicitation. Okay, what I will do is, so that you can see it in the recording also, I will put it in spotlight. So that in the recording, okay? Where is it? Okay, fine. Great. Right? So this is clear. Origins of NLP. We can talk about origins of NLP. All of you are aware that I will be here from tomorrow onwards for all the 4 days at 9:30. Whoever wants to, you know, do some chit chat with me, talk about NLP, talk about anything, want to share certain things, you can come. That will not be recorded. The recording will start at 10 o'clock. Okay. Now, just before going for tea, I think we have another 10 minutes. What are the subcomponents? So these are the skills that NLP develops. Now, what that we will speak of? What is that we will speak of for these 5 days and beyond that? Maybe in masters, trainer, what will we speak of? Primarily, we will speak of 5 things. 5 things. Of course, language is the most important. Because language helps us to think. Even feeling. Expressing the thoughts are language, whether verbal or non-verbal language. Language is the code of our experiences. Is the code of our experiences. That is how we communicate to the world of what we are thinking of our experience. Our 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay. Got it? So the first thing is language. The first thing is language. Extremely important. Maybe after this first day of NLP, the way you listen to people will also change. Because now what happens is NLP practitioners, they hear differently than people who do not know NLP. The reason is language is of prime importance to NLPers. It's prime importance. I'll give you a story, small story. So I was in Guwahati. I was visiting Guwahati with the sales team. I was in training. In my previous organization, the name of the organization is Apps Daily. So there was an interview which was going on, and my zonal head said, Pato, I have interviewed someone. Can you again just meet him once? I met that guy and came to my zonal head and said, I don't think you should select him for this job. He said, why? I mentioned to him, I have spoken to her 15 minutes. He has mentioned the word challenge at least 13 times. And difficult about 6-7 times. And did not get support for another 4 times. This might not be the best candidate for you. And I gave him my thoughts and my suggestions. But he selected. Within 1 month of his selection, this is for Guwahati. He was an area manager for Guwahati. He started getting absent for office, coming late to office, not doing his particular work. Whenever he was asked for a reason, he externalized the problem. That was his pattern. That was his pattern. Pattern lets you know a lot of stories of that person. Only if you are mindful of the words, of the language, of the body language of that person. So language is one of the most important things that contributes in the subject of NLP. So language. L. The next one is body, soma. Soma means body. Somatic, soma. S. Our breathing patterns. Our movements. How we lead our life through our bodies, how we take care of our health. That talks a lot of things. So soma. The next one is internal processing. Internal processing for strategies, for programming. I. How we process our filters. What are the filters? So when we drink tea, we use the strainer, we use the filters to move, to get the tea and to leave aside the leaves or the granules of tea which is there. Similarly, we have filters in our mind. Very subconscious filters. Very subconscious patterns which we're not aware of. Our experiences, the visuals that we have, the auditory sensations that we have, the hearings that we have, the kinesthetic feeling when I see, hear a word. When I look down from the 17th floor, there is a shiver in the body. I think that's a pattern that is in my body. Some experience in my body, some thoughts in my body, some feeling that is creating it, right? Internal processing. The next one is psychogeography. Psychogeography is now psychogeography or mental space. I will take it as P or mental space. Psychogeography or mental space. How we read organizations in space and around us. So if I take this as a group and take Papri as a group or an individual and Krishanu as an individual, we will say that this is a group cluster. So what we will say? If there is a waiter who is there or if there is a person who is waiting there to serve food, please serve in that table. So that table becomes a unit. Even animals have this understanding of psychogeography. You will see tigers and lions, when they go into the safari, they get into a jeep and the lion just goes across that jeep and goes away. Very, very seldom you will know, hears that lion or tiger has got into a jeep or into the car and have killed someone. Why? Because probably I've not been able to speak to a tiger as yet, but what thinkers say, right? Imama is laughing. Imama is saying, hey, you have not spoken to a tiger. I have spoken to a tiger so many times. In Dhaka, there are so many tigers in the forest, and I have gone and spoken to them. Had breakfast with them also. No, that's not a good idea, Imam. Okay. So they might be thinking that these people, they're together. The jeep is along. So this might be a different animal, and this is bigger than me. So that might be a psychogeography also. Psychogeography means how people are grouped outside. And mental space. Of course, mental space is a different subject, right? Mental space is a different subject. And on 27th and 28th of December, I'm doing a separate session on mental space. Mental space is becoming the thing in therapeutic world now. If someone wants to be a coach or someone wants to be a therapist at large, understanding mental space is extremely important because space is the primary organizing principle of the mind. Everything that we speak are projected into a space. Mind works both as a camera and a projector. And everything is in 3D. Talk therapy, narrative therapy, while they are important, please remember language is 1D. And anything in space, our brain, our body is in 3D. So mental space is another one. I will call it P together with psychogeography. The final one is T, time. Time is also in space, and we organize our lives in time. We will talk about it more, but then LSIPT. LSIPT. While I was going through the NLP topics, there was one of my mentors who was talking about LSIP. I found it intriguing and interesting because I have never thought of everything that way. And I thought this is a good way. So language, soma, the body, internal processing, psychogeography, time, understanding the timeline. That also is a very, very important part of it. So since morning, I'll just summarize. We understood of what NLP is primarily. We also understood how the origins of NLP. We understood what basic skills NLP help us to learn. And then now we are discussing about LSIPT, language, soma, internal organization, psychogeography or mental space, and time. This is what we will study primarily during this 5 days. Is that okay? Any questions? And then we break for a 15 minutes tea break.
Sir, can you give one more example for psychogeography?
Psychogeography. Okay, so you go out in the road and you find that there are groups of people, right? Say, for example, there are 5 people here, and along with that 5 people, there are another 2 people just standing very near them, but not in that group. They're talking to themselves, and these 5 people, they're talking to themselves. Your mind says, okay, these 5 people is one group, these 2 people are again another group. And they must be discussing something which is not homogeneous, so that's why they're standing outside that group. Right? You would exactly know through space, usage of space, who is very close to whom, and whether this person is not very close. So that's psychogeography. The mental space is something different. So as Venkataramu, I said that everything that we think or organize is in space. If you close your eyes and if I ask you to think of the most loved person, you will see that loved person around you somewhere, right? We organize everything in mental space. Starting from this session also, if you close your eyes and think of this session, while you are in tea break, you will find that it's somewhere located in the space. And there is a hypothesis rather, that relations is equal to locations. So that's again a subject matter of mental space. We will maybe touch part of it. And of course, those who are interested can join on to 7:28. So we'll break here. It's 11:20. We come back at 11:40. Yeah, India time. So 20 minutes break. Yeah, okay.